Mario, if we could come to you now. Let's start by talking about the C6 tyre compound. It's had a couple of races. How would you assess its performance so far?
We had mixed feedback from the teams. I believe that it's quite normal when you have a new compound, especially a soft compound like the C6. The compound is quite close to the C5, so ideally I would like to see in the future a C6 that is more aggressive choice, different from the current one. We didn't have a lot of time to test and develop this compound. It was something that we felt at the end of the season last year that we needed a compound that was softer than C5. So at the moment I'm happy, reasonably happy, and I'm looking for Canada, where we probably get more information on the C6.
You've now announced your tyre compounds up to the summer break. What are the highlights?
We have more information now compared to the first draft of the compound, of the selection, and talking to F1 teams and drivers and the FIA, of course. It is clear that we need to be a bit more aggressive or to find a way to encourage teams towards a two-stop strategy. That was not a choice for the races where we decided to go one step softer. So at the moment, we modified the selection for Silverstone, where we go one step softer with C2, 3, and 4. And we decided also to skip one level in Spa. So instead of C2, 3, and 4, we go with C1, C3, and C4. That means that between C1 and C3, the hard and the medium, you have a much bigger delta. And if they want to be aggressive, they have to use C3 and 4 on a two-stop. Probably if they want to be conservative, they have to use the C1 and C3, but it means they are slower. So I'm curious to see if it works.
As we all are. Mario, thank you. All right, next one, please. Where are we going next? Yeah, Ian, back to you.
Ian Parks, Racing News 365. Question for yourself, Mario. You've announced you set a precedent with your tyre choices for Belgium by skipping a compound. Could you first of all explain that? What's the reason behind it? And secondly, is that a potential option next season for Monaco, bearing in mind we've still had all this contentious nature around it, that the two-stop didn't quite work, etc. So could doing that with the tyre compounds for Monaco potentially make any difference? Thank you.
The step with the compound in Spa, the reason is the one I mentioned before, that is to give the teams a hard compound that is much slower than the medium and the soft. And that means if they want to use the hard to plan a one-stop strategy, they are, let's say, penalized by a slow compound with hard choice. So if they go more aggressive, medium and soft, on paper, they should go for a two-stop race. So to try to create more action, more overtaking, and less tire management. Monaco is a different story. Monaco is a circuit where it is difficult or impossible to overtake. The idea of the two-stop came from someone else, but personally, I believe that was a good idea, at least to avoid a boring race like it was last year. Not perfect, probably, but it was a good try to do something different. Then I heard everything about Monaco, but if I have to reply on tire selection, I believe that we can go C1, C5, C6, whatever you want, and it doesn't change anything because the driver that is leading is just managing the tire and go to the end. So the only option was to try to create some unpredictability with a pit stop.
Daniel Lloyd, race car engineering. Question for Mario. Why did you choose Belgium for this sort of experiment to skip one of the compounds? And are there any other tracks or races that you think might be worth having that bigger delta between the compounds?
Yeah, as usual, we run simulations to try to understand how many strategies are possible with the selection, with different selection. And we found out that Belgium was the one where we had the highest number of strategies moving with this C1, C3, and C4. There was an initial idea to have C1, C3, and C4 also in Silverstone, but then we realized that with the C1 and C3 probably in Silverstone you can easily complete a one-stop race without any big issue, and because the C1 is working quite well in Silverstone, while it's probably slower in Belgium, and this is creating this uncertain situation.
Thank you, Mario.